Alright, welcome back to One Piece Anime Review, episode 413. We're here reviewing episode 1144, The Worst Nightmare. The Five Elder Gods Assemble! This covers the entirety of chapter 1110. Basically, we continue a lot left off last episode. Oh, by the way, before I continue that, it was announced. This actually was the animator who did this episode. He actually worked on Jujutsu Kaisen. Yeah, he did, and I love the music in the episode. Oh my gosh, it's so freaking creepy. Basically, what happens in here. So, at the end of the last episode, we have the other four, the five elders, which are Saint Marcus Mars, Saint Topmat Mercury, Saint Elshard Nusro, and Saint Shepherd Peter, all summoned to Egghead Island because of Vegapunk's broadcast, which apparently this is kind of weird because they kind of started this broadcast at the end of 2 episodes ago, and apparently the previous episode only took place in a period of 3 minutes. Yep. You have Sanji running with Vegapunk. We finally wrap up the whole thing with Brook and Lilith, where Sunny is stopped by Usopp's Green Star stuff. And of course, Robin's still injured, and of course, Brook gets kicked in the butt by Lilith. One of the giants has eliminated the Navy ships on one side of the island. Basically, the two giants carrying Kuma. I think it was Kuma, Atlas, Bonnie, and Frankie to their ship. They continued that little thing. Let's see. The pacifistas are firing on the other ships, but we'll get to that in a minute. So, basically, the other four elders arrive, and Mars becomes basically a bird. Yes, he becomes basically a giant bird monster, which, when I saw the thing in the anime way they presented it reminded me of the appearance of the infamous B movie, The Claw. Well, where it's basically just a giant bird, and apparently at the start of the movie, because people laughed at the appearance of bird, the guy got drunk afterwards. Warguri became a giant boar. Nestro became basically a horse skeleton, and Peter became basically a giant sandworm, which basically he had this whole thing trying to eat Luffy. Like twice in the episode, he tried to gobble up Luffy in his sandworm form, and also Saint Saturn is still in his spider form, trying to eliminate. It's Luffy versus the five elders of the world. Now, by the way, he has no idea who the heck he's fighting. Well, the name of the people. He knows he's fighting 5 monsters. That's all he knows. Also, there's a brief thing where, when they show up, Neshiro goes to the shoreline to take down all of the pacifistas and firing the ships by freezing, also transform into his what appears to be a man-beast form, and takes them all out, and all they see is a portion of a horse, but they couldn't exactly see who was riding the horse. You're thinking, okay, what about the other elders? Well, in the case of Mars, he proceeds to fly up to the dome, which of course he crashed on the outside. Meanwhile, we finally resumed the fight between Rob Lucci and Zoro. Jinbei is trying to get there, and it's a great battle they have, where at one point Zoro loses one of his swords. Somehow magically he gets it back, and then proceeds to land a big slice on Rob Lucci. Sanji Crystals have already contacted them, and then we see the giant pirates, where Dory and Brocky show up in the battlefield, and they see oh, that's a familiar face. So I think it's I think Dory's a short one. He basically just picks up Saturn, tosses him aside, does the same thing with Wargry, and they basically run up to Peter, and they proceed to slice the bottom portion of his head off. They get Luffy like, "Oh, awesome guys, great to see you," and that's the episode. Yeah. Oh, and also the fact that we actually have Doll and Tatsu, I think her name is, was basically riding on a robot Sea King, which is a giraffe, and they're riding into shore. Yeah, I had to mention that happened in the episode, but my God, this episode was so good. They just, they did a lot of work in this episode. Oh my gosh. The animator who did this episode should get an award, because this episode looked gorgeous. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. Yeah. Yep. So, not much else to say about the episode. Oh, in this episode we do debut some new moves. Yeah, Brocky's the one with the axe, and Dory's the one with the sword. Yes. Oh yeah, and they slice up basically Peter's sandworm form. But I didn't mention that. But yeah, great episode overall. Can't wait for the next episode, which will air next week. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. Next up we have is Case Coast. Okay, next week. Bye.